Hello and welcome back to THU TV Live. Today on the show with me I have someone that maybe not all of you know. He keeps a low profile. His name is André Luís, and he's the founder and creator of Trojan Horse Was a Unicorn. So welcome on the show, André.
Thank you.
Do you want to say hi to Mom first? She told me she would watch.
No, she didn't.
So we're in Malta, and a lot of things have changed for THU. And in the opening ceremony, you even had that, big screen with the word change on it. Are you saying we changed and we lost our, feel?
We were afraid to lose our feel. Was one of our biggest concerns. But now that the event is almost over, I'm happy. We didn't lose nothing. Was a great event. The vibe is here. The tribe is stronger than ever. From the reactions, from all the conversations, the approach, the tribe has been with me. I think we didn't. Thanks for all my team and all you guys that made an incredible job. But we grow, and the sense of community is bigger here in Malta than in Portugal, to be honest.
You feel that there is more sense of community here?
Because
this is actually an island, and that wasn't a peninsula.
It's a peninsula. It's hard to say. But we know that people spread more is one of the issues we face it here in Malta, that we have more people spread in Alvaleta, because this is an incredible place to visit, full of museums and historical landmarks, and obviously they want to be inspired. But all the nights at the fort, all the art battles, the talks, the gallery, especially the gallery, I saw here more meaningful conversations, and I have the sense of the first edition of THU, where literally this year is the year where we changed more lives, and we have more people crying and saying that definitely this is something special for them.
Also because as THU, we always encourage people to change and to step out of their comfort zone. And I guess moving to Malta was like doing it all together, and that was also...
It's true. Even in the opening ceremony, we had the chance to explain all of that. So obviously, it was really hard to move to Malta, as you know. And I was, after 5 years in Portugal, we had almost set up there. We knew everyone, all the partners. We had all the connections. And change to a new country without knowing anyone or nothing was indeed a challenge. But when we have Jorge Gutierrez and Shuzo on stage, being crazy, and crazy is a good word to say to...
It's the only word, I think.
It's the only word to explain. Always gives the tone and gives the message that don't be afraid to be yourself, and don't be afraid to change, and open your mind and open your heart. And again, we are here in this beautiful location. Mm-hmm. The weather is good, so I'm happy.
And how hard was it to make this change?
It was really hard. Most of all, our fears was selecting what made THU a success in Malta, or in Troy in this case, and how can we actually bring the basics and the sense of the success in one place without going to anywhere else. So it was hard to manage a strategy that allowed the tribe to be here with us and don't lose, like we were saying, like the community, don't spread too much itself. They support it, they love it, but there was a lot of conversation, because at some point nobody understood THU. Now they see it, everyone saw it, and...
It's what, 6 years you're trying to explain it?
And it's still hard to explain.
But you keep changing that also, you keep growing. It started as a digital arts festival, and it turned into a experience for creators, which is something, different.
It's true. Even for the speakers, a couple of them told me, when I receive an email that I'm going into an experience, I was like, this is bullshit. And suddenly, I'm here, I don't even know how to explain what I'm living. So it's pretty cool to see that, but it's pretty bad for us in a way that after 6 years, we don't know how to explain THU.
I mean, I think, like I said, I mean, you went from festival to event to experience. You went from artists to creatives to creators. So I mean, it's hard because we're moving forward. So I don't think don't lose hope. You know, we're still good. But what about getting speakers to come, which is always a bit of a challenge because we ask a lot of our speakers. We expect them to, be here for a whole week, give us their full attention, and nobody really has that kind of time usually, especially the ones that are freelance or even with companies. You know, it's unless they embrace the whole concept, it's hard.
It was another challenge. We had also another challenge. We wanted to have more female speakers at THU.
That was my next question, man.
Oh, so sorry. But there's a lot of challenge in this process. Yeah. It's hard for us again. Was the most difficult year. Even this year we had 11 cancellations in the last 3 weeks. We managed to have 9 to replace 9 speakers, but 3 of them were pretty impossible to replace, unfortunately. But was really, really hard. Nowadays, it's quite hard to ask to all of these busy people, incredible, talented people, to stop doing everything they're doing, to stay 1 week in one place. But after this year, I believe things will change again in a good way. The speakers are starting to understand that we are asking 1 week because it's the only way to actually make the difference. 2 days or 3 days will not bring nothing special to anyone.
Or 2 or 3 hours,
like 3 hours.
Many events. But, we had a show this year on TV about empowering and representing more women in the digital art industry. So you said, I mean, I've noticed that even in THU, we have many more women speakers, and you're planning, you were saying, to bring more here.
It's true.
Right.
And we have been talking about that. It's like even in terms of the tribe, the audience, when we have, it's something we want to change the perception. We want to bring more female attendees and more female speakers. Because it needs to be the future is needs to be like this. We don't want to have an event where it's only men.
Did you just say bring more attendees?
Bring more attendees, yes. We will have more attendees next year.
You've finally embraced that idea of growing the community.
We are growing in a way that will allow us to build a good experience. This year we stopped selling at 1,000 tickets. I was afraid, I was anxious that I couldn't manage 1,000 people, was too much, so we stopped. After this experience, we realized that, like what happened in 2016, we stopped selling tickets at 700, and we realized that to fulfill the experience in the perfect way, we needed 900. Happened exactly the same here. We stopped at 1,000. And now for next year, we will need to find yet the final number, but for sure we are going to grow.
Also because you've been going around the world this year. You were in Tokyo, you were in Montreal, and there's yesterday with Shuzo, we were talking about how some people that were at the Tokyo gathering then made it here, and one of the other tribe members, Vikram, who was on another show, he was telling me he brought 2 friends from India, and it's really interesting because I noticed the tribe is much more diversified than it was even just 2 years ago.
Yeah, and my challenge is to have 100 countries until 2020. We have 79 this year, so my goal is to have 100 countries in 2020. So I want to have a big diversity, and to show that THU is not a European event, is a worldwide event where it's a safe place. This seems like really catchy and really marketing, but is really a different place for creators around the world to do something different. And so we want to be that safe place to all of these artists around the world, and hopefully to bring more people, for tribe members from different countries.
And this year you have a really big recruitment fair, right? How many? 25 companies?
25 and
25 big companies. Like, yes. We're not talking 25 companies,
Was a huge challenge. Was one of our always one of our visions to make THU not only an inspiration place, but also a place where they can find a job. At least the companies can help them to improve their portfolio, so they can find a job in the year after. And this year we manage 25 companies. Next year, we manage 25 companies. We learn and understood how we can actually improve the experience. And next year we are trying to double the size and to become the biggest recruitment fair in the world.
Right now you were the biggest in Europe, right? Yeah. So at least for this sector.
For this, yeah.
But apart from the recruitment, we've had a lot of mentorships. I saw a lot of the artists. I mean, it wasn't planned. Like 2 years ago, I remember we had it in the schedule, and you know, you had mentorship time. And now it's just like you walk around the Oasis, and there's all these artists sitting, and you know, young artists showing their portfolios and getting feedback. And that's also something that you encourage. Like, it's not like in their free time the artists are, you know, in their hotel pools or going to the beach. They're here and they're active. How do you make them do that?
First, we have a great group this year. Every year we have great groups, but this year I think was the best so far. And the first 2 days we spent a lot of time with the nights. We call it the nights to explain exactly the rules or our vision, our mission, and they embrace it. At the end of the day, we are pretty lucky to have these talented people here. From Geoffrey Bowman, that was the visual effects supervisor of Black Panther, to Cynthia Shepherd, the art director of Magic the Gathering, and they stay here all day, all night. And but again, it's we have more and more the nights embrace and understand what we are doing, so it makes a difference.
So it's like they're here because they believe in the whole concept and project as well, which is why they're so helpful, I guess.
It's true. I was afraid of that. I was afraid that they left because of Malta. Was my biggest fear, to be honest. That they arrive here and I will never see them again after the talk. And
because, like you said, in Troia they were trapped in a good way.
They were stuck. There was nothing to see.
Yeah.
Besides they could go to the beach, but besides that, nothing happened. And so here you have so many things. So you can go to Comino, Gozo, you have Medina, you have all the Game of Thrones.
So it helps to get them here a couple of days early as well, right?
It helps a lot.
While they're getting over the jet lag, they can do their sightseeing, and then
they are done. And here is like again, it's too many beautiful things to watch and to see, and they only have 2 days, so it's crazy.
So we introduced the B-sides, as you know, and this year we also have a lot of technology-related talks. There's so much about artificial intelligence and VR, and why are you introducing so much technology?
More or less, we explained in the opening ceremony, this is the year we are going to integrate the full ecosystem. We really want to be a platform where marketeers, business people, developers, artists talk the same language. You can't make a game without a producer. You can't make a game without sell a game without a marketeer, and you can't develop a game without developers. So, if you really want to be part of this industry and we really want to move forward, all the players in the industry should be together. So, there's a couple of missing parts. One is definitely the developers, the technical side. The second that we are going to approach next year will be the motion design, advertising, and obviously storytellers. And we hope to close the circle and to bring more and more diversity in terms of skills to THU. I think will allow us to build a better experience.
You know what's interesting? That you have like the room where Goro Fujita is doing his thing on Quill, and you know he's wearing the glasses and he's just painting, and then you have the gallery where there's people with pencils and sketchbooks and they're just drawing, you know, life drawing, or they're making things with clay, or they're painting, and it's you know, I find it very interesting that there's this contrast between the future and
the past. But it's pretty cool to see that. It's really, really cool. And I was actually having a conversation with Jani Lintanen. He's a Finnish guy, and he just told me that during this week, after experiencing the Quill, he bought a headset from Oculus.
He did?
And he started drawing at the gallery. So he was a really, really, really character artist, just Wacom and the PC, and after this THU, he's inspired now to start drawing again and painting, and at the same time he bought a Oculus headset. He told me when I arrive home I will have something new to play. So it's funny that THU will allow this young community to experience different stuff in a different way, and without pushing nothing, they will follow and understand what's the best thing for them. And it's
also
really,
because
really cool.
I mean you have to be familiar with both the past and in touch with the future if you want to be able to fit in the industry? Because I mean, let's face it, we're not doing this because it's fun to do. I mean, it's also that, but it's also a profession for many. I mean, there's a career path, so
and
you need to.
And they forget. Even I had another conversation this morning with Maltese actually, and he was talking with me that for a long time now he understood that he was lost. He made everything for the company. The company asked from UI, from UX, from the character artists, character design. And after being in the gallery and more important, understanding how much art influenced the work, he was almost crying that he realized that he's going to change his life and definitely improving their career path, or at least the ways he's going to approach his career will be completely different. Because at the end of the day, you are 365 days at the same space, following the rules, no time, super stressed. That you lost the sense of what's happening around you. And THU is the moment when you stop 1 week, you don't sleep. After 3 or 4 days, you start receiving information in a different way and allow you to start changing. Like we started the conversation, it's about changing. And when you start facing this change and you realize that art is important and you completely forgot after 5 years or 6 years in the market, and it's time to have time to experience new stuff. And I think is the beauty of this THU, at least so far from what I heard.
Do you think, a lot of times, we've had other artists on the show as well, and we were talking about how it's important to work as a team and together. Like, a lot of times people think, I can do it all myself, and experiences like THU help people connect and realize, okay, I don't have to do it all myself because there's someone who's better than me at doing that, so it's better if I work together, right? I mean, you've also had some workshops and things, and with the clan idea that you introduced this year, you're trying to, I guess, do a bit of that, right? It's trying to get people to work together.
It's changing mentalities. Artists, in a way or another, they are not easy public. They are introverts, they don't talk with anyone, they are afraid to talk. And it's all about themselves in a way. It's so when we oblige them without pushing nothing, but when we build these strategies that will allow them to actually talk with others, work with others. And again, we are now in the last day of THU, and you just go outside and you see the sense of community. A lot of new friendships are happening. Everyone is talking with everybody. If they see a lanyard of Lenovo and they start talking, it's really, really friendly, and it's incredible to see, to be honest.
Do you think that in general, all the issues that we have in society, somehow experiences like THU can help, solve them, and art and the digital art world can help, I don't know, break stereotypes and prejudices in the industry?
One thing we try to do, I think so, to answer correctly, I really think, or at least I hope, with the THU experience, the way we manage, that this is a human behavior experience at the end. Everybody knows that THU is all about meritocracy. You need to work, we need to give something, and after you give, you will receive. So, and you can see now at THU a lot of the way they behave, at least at THU, even this year, cleaning up after yourself. They really was the best year in terms of they clean stuff.
I spoke to a lot of people who really liked the idea of the cups. Yeah, because I was afraid they wouldn't. Actually, people watching from home don't know what it is.
We are trying to go green, and in the previous years, we had a lot of problems with garbage. And so this year, we came up with the idea of the plastic. I'm looking there because there is a cup there. Of a plastic cup, and so basically instead of you have a new cup every time, you buy this cup. The money goes to a foundation. We are going to help a kids foundation, the foundation that helps autistic kids, and basically all the money go to that foundation. And if you want to drink again, you just use your cup and refill and refill and refill.
Actually, the attendees got a special edition Kim Jong-ji cup.
I didn't see it
as a present. I saw it in other people's hands, and I want one. Okay, we'll talk about this later. It's a really cool idea, though, because I noticed that people are being more careful about where they're putting their stuff. They're recycling more. We also just that, like, we have recycling, bins and things, and organic plates and things.
Slowly you are getting there, and like your question was about changing mentalities, and all these small details will allow us to change mentalities. But again, we just need to improve and see if we can do it better next year.
And what are your expectations for next year?
Be better. Really have the sense. The most important thing for me actually is I'm finishing this event and I'm happy. And I want the same feeling next year, that we made everything was in our, that we work really hard, and we see everyone's face that everyone is happy. So we are happy because of that. Obviously, we want to improve. We are going to receive we are going to send a survey to all the speakers and attendees and recruiters. We are going to receive all the feedback, receiving the brutal critiques. And from that, we just want to make sure that when they arrive next year, they will say, okay, this changed, this is improved. My expectation is about building a better experience and finishing next year with the same feeling that I have today. That's the most important thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
Because all the time, it means a lot. We know a lot of tribe members couldn't be here, a lot of familiar faces, and I really hope next year you guys can be here and experience Malta for the first time.
Okay. Thank you all for watching, and see you later.
Thank you.